Welcome to the animated recap. In this video, we have recapped the musical and sci-fi movie named as Over the Moon that was released in 2020. In the start of this movie, we see a mother telling a story to a young child. The name of the child was Fei Fei. She was told by her mother that science had come a long way. Science likewise has all the solutions. The moon is that far away from the earth. The distance between the earth and the moon is indicated by it. Additionally, she tells her about the moon goddess. Her father was also seated. He asks for her permission before he explains moon science. No, she responds, I'd rather hear it from your mother. She begins to speak to her mother. My mother tells me a legend about the goddess of the moon. Her mother then tells her the story. That was back when goddess was an ordinary teenage girl, the speaker recalls. She started to feel something for a boy. But after that, she drank a strange concoction. This suggests that she ingested a substance that rendered her eternal. She frequently visited the moon. She is now a resident there. She is there waiting for her beloved. Now that goddess lives on the moon with a rabbit who is also her pet. As a result of the death of the one she loved on earth. When she sobs, the tears become stardust. Next, they swung around to face the moon. Does your father think that's real? Fei Fei asks. Is the goddess story that your mother is relating accurate? Daughter, whatever your mother tells you, it will be true in your father's eyes. Her mother instructs her to look at the moon and think about whether she sees any rabbits. They then start laughing. We can tell Fei Fei was having fun when she put the rabbit balloon on the stick. She travels to her parents. Her mother asks her, will you help me bake mooncakes today? The production of mooncakes is one of Fei Fei's family's specialties. Her parents are currently instructing Fei Fei in cake baking. Then we see that Fei Fei aged while making mooncakes. This suggests that time has passed while you were playing. She now works with her mom to sell mooncakes. But out of nowhere, her mother develops a disease. Before she dies, she presents a bunny to her daughter. Since then, 4 years had passed. Fei Fei was carrying a picture of her mother and sharing a moon cake. Now is the time to celebrate the moon. Fei Fei sells a lot of mooncakes with her father. She also distributes them. Everyone was buying mooncakes from her. Her mooncakes seemed to be well known. Fei Fei returns home. When she notices her father's friend with him, she becomes upset. The son of her father's buddy is not liked by Fei Fei. When Fei Fei's father was installing the moon festival's lighting, her father suggests she talk to her aunt. She is a beautiful woman. Refers to the friend of her father. We don't need anyone, father, says Fei Fei. We are enough for one another. Due to her mother's absence, Fei Fei is against her father marrying any other girls. Her father wants to talk to her. In the interim, the woman shows up. This is a reference to her father's friend. She brought crabs for Fei Fei since she preferred them. The gang then makes their way to the dining area. Fei Fei takes her rabbit out of her chair. There weren't any rabbits on the table, according to her mother. That rabbit won't sit down at a table or on a chair. The poor rabbit. They start talking at the dinner table. Fei Fei gets angry when she sees her father being open with the woman. Fei Fei is bothered by this. The two women also start talking with Fei Fei. She says your father told me you like getting to know goddess, and I believe him. They then start talking about the moon goddess. They all concur that the story is ridiculous. Fei Fei, on the other hand, thinks it's real. She implores her father, do you feel this way, too? Her father remains silent. Fei Fei thinks back in time. Her mother was telling the truth when her father said that. He was now, nonetheless, quiet. Fei Fei is downhearted. Just as she was about to leave the dining room table, she walks in. The woman's son reminds her that while she waits, my mother and your father will soon get married. Fei Fei enters her room and starts to sob. She says I wish things would return to as they were. She thinks that because her father no longer reveres the deity, he has undergone a metamorphosis. She believes that my father might rekindle his trust in that divinity. He might opt not to get married once more. She watches the moon from her room and returns to her pet rabbit. She starts to miss her mother as she continues to look at the moon. She believed that her mother had been abandoned by her father. She inquires as to how I might persuade my father. Due to the moon's 3 million kilometer distance from Earth, that the goddess is still waiting for her beloved on the moon. She queries my ability to construct a rocket and reach the moon in order to meet the goddess. I will provide proof for that as well. She then spends days doing research and coming up with design concepts for a rocket. Feifei makes a lot of orders. She participates in the rocket experiment as well. However, no rocket could reach the moon. She proceeds to construct a rocket in the form of a rabbit. With her pet bunny, she sits in it and travels to the moon. The rocket plan moves slowly after she starts it. But it was moving. Though gradually, it moves quickly. Feifei was currently near the moon. But soon the rocket fuel runs out. They begin to flee. Then she overhears a child of her father's acquaintance conversing. She informs him, "You are also here. I didn't weigh you and estimate your weight." The rocket aircraft was descending at the time. A light beam pops out of nowhere, and the rocket starts to ascend once more. It could have been the moon's alluring brightness. After that, some aliens begin to assault their rocket. The rocket starts rotating. After that, it lands on the moon. The aliens then fly that woman's child and Feifei to a magnificent palace. Then, the talking moon cakes appear. This is a reference to spoken mooncakes. They are appreciated. They are taken there in a vehicle. The goddess was performing a song at that gathering. The bunny was another. Both Feifei and that child enjoy it. Feifei goddess the moon in her arms. She accomplishes this by surrounding herself in her arms. She is questioned by goddess about the gift she brought for me. However, Feifei didn't actually bring any gifts. She says, "I want to take a picture with you to help my dad." She takes a picture of herself. She claims that you can get this image, but there is a prerequisite. The prerequisite is that you look for and deliver me a gift. It's time to begin your present search. Along with the moon chickens, Feifei writes. The woman's son is detained when he tries to take a photo. This indicates that he wants to snap pictures without getting anything in return. The goddessing glumly. She couldn't meet the person she wanted to. There, in the streets of the moon, it starts to rain. For Feifei, it makes life more difficult. However, she eventually lands on the other side of the moon. She discovers a goddess doll from the rocket ship. It belonged to her mother. She is defeated by the chickens. Because everyone who gives the goddess a gift will have their wishes come true. Feifei was left alone in the area. That amazing mixture was being prepared over there by the rabbit. The goddess's essential potion. Goddess owned that bunny. Feifei finds a dog. She climbs aboard and pursues those hens. While running away, the hens take her gift. As she continues, she grabs her doll away from those birds. The hens are following her once more. She cries as she takes the doll. Feifei sobs and sits down. She thinks that her father won't be able to remarry if she gives him this gift. When Feifei is hungry, she starts eating the mooncakes. A fragment of their broken locket is found by her. You could relate everything on the moon to it. She understands that it is a gift. To deliver it, she dashes after that goddess. That piece is eaten, and the goddess is happy. In order for the person she loved to come back, she adds that ethereal mixture to the locket as she connects her piece to the other. The scene then changes to green. Aging occurs to the goddess. She liked the person who came back. Their paths collide. Her lover continues by saying that you need to restrain yourself. Since I cannot go back, you must continue. Having said that, he continues. Goddess becomes depressed. Darkness can be seen on that side. In order to take her, Feifei enters the area. She was visible to her friends from the street. They think Fei Fei is trapped and locked there. Goddess now commands Fei Fei to proceed. You'll be abandoned if you don't, just like I am. And keep in mind that even though you miss your mother, she is always with you. She wasn't lost on you. That woman's son was now worried about Fei Fei. He crosses the line. He says it's time for us to go back home and orders Fei Fei to leave. Goddess is also informed by Fei Fei that the person you liked left. But his spirit is still with you. So, try to avoid getting down. You are fantastic. To love and worship Goddess, every moon creature shows up. The region then begins to glow once more. Fei Fei says goodbye to the dog. She leaves her rabbit there, because it becomes the rabbit companion of the goddess. That picture is given to Fei Fei by Moon Goddess. She's connected to them in some way. In order to return, Fei Fei boards those aliens with the son of that woman. The image smolders. Then Fei Fei puts it out. She comes to understand the need of maturing and accepting reality. Allow someone to continue thinking for themselves if they don't believe you. She returns home. Her father gets remarried. Then, in the clip's last frame, we see Fei Fei having fun with the woman's son. This suggests that they are now friends as well. Finally, it is seen that preparations for the moon celebration were proceeding. Everyone was getting ready for dinner too. After that, they have a meal and seem to be having fun. Fei Fei was having dinner with her parents as well as her new parents. Fei Fei and her father then view the full moon. When she notices the cranes soaring, she gets the impression that Goddess is waiting for her. Next, the cranes start to soar toward the moon. With this scene, the fantasy and musical movie ends. Thanks everyone for watching this video. Please let us know in the comment section that what new movies we should recap in next videos. To watch more interesting animated movies, please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon.